Hey, all right, there we go. We are now live, and I have just
Fuck, I hate
re-xed.
that.
I've re-xed the tweet. The X that Vinny
The
xed.
X.
You've
Yeah,
Yes,
re-X'd your ex. Good X, bro.
good
yeah.
X.
I gave a
I I
sick X.
I also X'd your ex.
Thanks, dog.
I
Nice,
feel
strong
I
X.
feel like there's so many things to say, but I think like the fact that every single person scrambled to just point out that this is the most divorced thing that's ever happened in the history of the goddamn world.
I mean, I have. There's something. There's something to be appreciated about like the like. Hey, remember when PayPal was supposed to be called X? No. Okay. Well, no, good.
I do.
Here's X now. uh, yeah. Hey, Vinny, what's going on? Appreciate you coming
Hey,
to hang
Wooly.
out.
Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure to be in the presence of you and Pat. So thanks for having me.
I
Dude, I'll be
that's
honest, I'm really glad to have you here. I'm so nervous because the last time you were on this podcast,
I
you made me look like the stupidest idiot in the world. And I'm just sitting around going, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen again.
I I
So okay,
I
I
relayed
have no
that
memory
story
of
to
that.
you. I relayed the story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just that memory was totally gone until Wooly reminded me. But I think you're gonna do great, Pat. I'm worried I'm gonna look like an idiot, like my alien looks right now. I don't want to look like that in real life.
God,
So
I don't like that thing.
I,
Why?
Well,
Why?
what we need to happen is we need you to pull out of the pocket some sort of incredible phenomenon that has been a cultural sweep that we've been completely in the dark on for years, and like to have a moment of you've never heard of PUBG is essentially where what we're referring to. I don't know what else you've got that we don't know
I
about, but
think
I'm waiting
we
for it.
dodged the biggest bullet possible in that Vinny was not here when we sat around going, what the fuck is Gary's mod? Is that the model viewer?
oh boy. How about wait? How about Skibbity Toilet? Are you aware of Skibbity Toilet?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
a
I
that
don't know about Skibbity
n-
Toilet.
no.
Okay, I got one for you. This isn't
Okay.
years old, but it's new and it's important in the culture at the moment.
Is it?
It not really, but I'll tell you what it is. It's speaking of Gmod, so it's Half-Life characters in toilets that get like 80 million to 100 million views on platforms. It's like little like shorts of like say the G-Man with a distorted face popping out of a toilet shooting things with laser eyes.
Okay, I'm
And
seeing
Okay.
it.
Okay.
it got so huge. I just did a segment on this last week and it was like very bizarre. And basically whenever a new one's posted, it'll get like 100 million in like a day. So that's how big it is. But it's still going back to old Half-Life assets, weirdly enough.
Wow.
Skibbity toilet.
I mean, the
Yep.
I don't
autocomplete on Google was instantaneous with that one.
I
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. That.
like I just looked it up on the internet and the first result I got was a YouTube video with the YouTube man face going, "Don't watch Skibbity Toilets."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that if not Skibbity Toilet, perhaps Vinny would be the first person that was on Glorbo. Are you are you aware
Oh,
of
that good Glorbo shit. Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
aware of Glorbo?
Is that World of Warcraft?
Yeah, big
Yes, it
excitement for
is.
Glorbo.
I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. It's been 15 years or so, maybe a little more than that. But
Oh man.
my last one was what's the second? Burning Cru Wait, what was the second? The
It
first
was Burning
expansion.
Crusade.
That I stopped after that. So that's how long ago we're going back here. But
Okay.
I'm aware of Glorbo and I
Oh,
think it's awesome.
yeah.
Good shit,
I,
Glorbo.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
I'm
like
very excited for Glorbo.
y'all are just getting turned on to Glorbo now. Now everybody's all hyped for Glorbo, but you weren't hyped for Glorbo back then. What's up? Where were you? Where were you at? When Glorbo needed you, huh?
when, when Glorbo needed you the most. Yeah, I love Glorbo. Good shit. Always good shit.
Damn.
All
Glorbo
right,
is
so
hell
for
yeah.
anybody who's not in on the joke, because we tend to do that and just move away, people on the World of Warcraft subreddit invented a fake feature called Glorbo and made a huge thread about how everyone excited for
So
Glorbo,
excited for Glorbo.
Hell yeah.
so that websites that just use AI to just scrape subreddits for news articles, just auto-posted complete nonsense articles about a fake feature that's not real.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the
and
best.
it did exactly that, and it was like it's so obvious that it was AI, and yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that could be happening across the entire internet at this point.
Yes, and
Like
that's
Glorbo's a microcosm.
it's the best. Like it's one of it's a great like story of the times happening right in the middle of the strike right now, just to show you like the level of like how just instantaneous and garbage the product can be that AI is going to put out when it has the crawlers just grabbing anything, going through the World of Warcraft subreddit, looking for the word excited, and finding as many exclamation marks as possible, filling in generic photos. Like the level of like non-polish is astonishing.
I feel like bad journalism, and in particular bad video game journalism, was uniquely poised to be ruined by this exact thing. Because one of the things that we've been complaining about for like 10 years is like, here's the news article. And the news article is just the press release that Blizzard sent out. It's like
Yeah.
that's all it is. So yeah, why not just have a robot scrape for articles?
Just complete Glorbo saturation.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
This Dr.
I should
Grimm's
mention-
wonderful. Like
I should mention that for me, I was doing like streams where I was showcasing, and this is like a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, like various AI things, whether they be like terrible, like deformed, strange Marios, or like aliens, or like even just stories that ended up not making any sense.
Yeah, you use that AI story generator robot thing to just go down that nightmare rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, and I did before it turned into a huge conversation, and I couldn't really even foresee because it was so bad. Like the AI was like funny, it was terrible, and now they're using it to try to like, cut out the middleman and save money, like an extra couple $1,000 on hiring someone to do the thing. And it's like, oh, it's a real issue. But for the time, I was just like writing stories about Mario doing things with the Teletubbies, and like, Mario would turn pink and die. And that was enough for me. But yeah, I had no idea it was going to become what it did.
It's the whole thing is a bunch of people who have not like people who can't fathom creating anything that's actually interesting, being mad that other people can create things interesting. It's like, that's not fair. I should be able to do that. I have money. And looking at like the worst generated garbage and going, yeah, that's good enough, right?
yeah, and the ability to essentially like liquid paper over a performance if you need to change something, or do an ADR or anything like that. And or perhaps you need to you can start with that, and maybe at some point you need to edit a kiss. Maybe these two people shouldn't be kissing in this market. Maybe we can change that through the magic of generating it, or whatever the fuck you could expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. The level of it's the story that was like, okay, so they went out and like cut all the trees down right outside where the pickets were gonna be, just to make it extra hot. Like, you're like, holy fuck, that's
like
level.
super villain level. Like that. There's some things that happen these days where you're like, if you wrote this into a movie, people would criticize it for being too on the nose.
Yeah, no, you're right. And they also like illegally closed down part of that sidewalk, and a bunch of the picketers got hit by cars.
Oh my god, I didn't hear that.
Because then they had to picket on the curb.
Jeez.
That all this stuff, there's this weird like mental archetype that is the worst guy that was in your finance class in university. Like, I have recently started following what might be the most depressing X account I have ever seen, which is called Coinfessions, which is just anonymous confessions about how people have ruined their lives with crypto and NFTs. And one that stands out to me is one that's from a game developer. Was like, we really believed that NFT crypto games were the future, but we looked at the market and they were all terrible scams, and we're like, we need to make a real game. And they spent like the whole team's life savings, and they're proud of it, but the people they're marketing to don't care about it, and they just keep asking about the token price and the buy-in. You remember all that shit of like, imagine
Yeah.
you're wasting your labor by playing a game. You should be earning.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah,
I'm
that was
playing
a
a
huge
game
thing.
to relax, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
I remember years ago there was someone I was talking to that basically had a website startup, and they were interested in like making games to like basically just offer to play through browser games. And one of the things they were talking to me about was like, oh, would you like to like design like a fighting game and something like this for this? And I was like, I don't know if this type of setup is the best for, you know, like, but anyway, but basically there was a discussion about like what a browser fighting game could be with the limitations of that. And we've seen a couple of examples of that being all right. Like there's a game called Tough Love Arena that works really well through browser, but it became very quick and apparent through a couple of conversations that it was like, yeah, I don't care what the fuck you make. The point is to it's just to get the attention traffic, you know, driven through here. And like, if it barely worked, it didn't matter so much as it was just one of many games that you could get people's eyes to take a look at, you know. And they don't know or give a fuck about like, anyway, whatever. It's all, I kind of lost what I was saying in the middle of that, but
Just use the
quality doesn't
AI
matter.
to scan the Woolie in so he can fill in the rest of this podcast with gibberish.
There you go. There you go. I did it with my own fucking VTuber, and I might do it again. Who knows? We'll see. You got to beat him to the punch. That's
Is your
what I say.
VTuber called Glorbo?
My VTuber is not called Glorbo, but it should have been. The SEO would have been wonderful.
Yeah.
I had somebody ask me what my worries were of an AI taking over and like doing what I'm doing better than I could do, and I'm thinking, and like, that question came after me going on an extended tangent about me secretly breastfeeding rats under my shirt. Like, I don't think the AI is gonna be on the level for a while to think up that stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Here's a little, and actually kind of, I don't know if this is a joke or not, but I'm going to tell you, someone on the Vinesauce subreddit a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, posted an obviously AI video of me with an AI voice saying, I'd like to say rest in peace to Joel Varg Skeletor. It was nice knowing you. You know, it's really sad he is dead. And it was so clearly AI. My mouth moving was AI. Someone makes a post today, I'm really sad that Joel is dead. How did he die? And like, it seemed like a serious post. So the point I'm trying to make is, even if it looks terrible and sounds terrible, it's still gonna fool some people.
So
if they were serious.
And if those people post about it, then someone else reading that is going to go, oh, I guess that happened? What the fuck? And before you know it, it's rolling.
There was a really great X thread a couple about a year ago that showed the Pope in that puffer coat. Remember that one?
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was this lady talking about, listen, you're not smart because you saw the puffer coat Pope and went, that looks fake as fuck. I don't think that's real, right? Because if you look at it, like, if you really look at it for like a second, yeah, no, it's got the flaws. It doesn't look real. It's got issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said that the real concern is that most people didn't even really look at it at all. They didn't even have the thought that they might be seeing something that was bullshit, and just completely absorbed it totally uncritically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So Woolie and I had a thing that is kind of similar to what you're describing, Vinny, in which there was like a really old story in which I got a guy to sell me Street Fighter early. And then, like, over a year or 2 years later, he got fired for stealing from the store. And down the grapevine it went until I can't believe Pat forced that guy to sell him Street Fighter and got him fired. What a
Yeah.
dick.
Right. Yeah, and a million games of broken telephone on that, for sure.
That happened to me just the past. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it because it's become a bit of a rabbit hole. But one of a clip that was posted by a bot, right? So I didn't even post it, but it was me muting the volume on a voice in a game that was annoying. As I would, you saw it.
It was Viewfinder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And the telephone game got really annoying to the point where people started ascribing things to me, like he hates this game or he hates women or whatever. And it's like, listen, I muted the game. I muted the voice. And then later I said the game is awesome. But the telephone game, especially when it gets re-X'd that many times, the game of telephone gets...
baby. Let's go.
The game of telephone is played so intensely, and there's a lot of bad faith people there too that just want to drive engagement, and it turns into a clown show. And so if you watch my full clip, I have more to say about it. But yeah, I mean, that's always going to happen, especially when something like catches on and hits like a weird little like zeitgeist moment. That High on Life game, looked 10 times worse, and I was offered a key for that, and I just straight up refused because of how annoying it looked. So it's like, there are definitely things that I could do to try to explain myself, but after a while, like, it's just no one's going to even hear that, so the damage is done, so to speak.
Right.
But, and I want to tell people Viewfinder is actually an awesome game. So that happened recently.
It's always a lot.
The bit about not people not even critically looking at something and thinking for a second that they need to consider whether it's real or not is interesting, because it's why I think what Matt Stone and Trey Parker were doing with Sassy Justice, if you remember that, they had basically, okay, so South Park guys made a company called Deep Voodoo, which is all about like deep fake technology, and they used it to make this show called Sassy Justice with like a bunch of deep fakes of like Mark Zuckerberg with like a southern accent selling you I forgot what, like lawnmowers or something, and then it has like Trump as like just like a guy with a weird accent as well, and like their faces are like clearly what you recognize, but their voice and behavior is completely not that. And it's like it's comedy, but it's like if you see it, it might give you pause if you're not used to this. Like your parents might see it and go, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
Oh,
and, right. And that little moment of, wait, what? Why is he? Huh? He doesn't sound. And it's like, yeah, we can do this now, almost. And it makes you aware of how fucked and how close we are to that. And then I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but there was a recent Kendrick Lamar album where one of the tracks they used that same company to like have face morphing, and he turned into a bunch of different people in it, But that like particular show that they put out, and I think it was just on Adult Swim or whatever, like it has a purpose of like being funny, but also catching anyone who doesn't know that we're here, that up to speed, and letting you know, no, we're here now. You cannot tell,
Shit. Yeah, it's a weird, scary time, and also people are going to make their decisions on the first thing that they see. First impressions are extremely important, and some people don't have the time. I mean, I have some sympathy because some people just don't have time. They're busy working like 2 jobs. They have families. Like, I understand why some of this stuff gets perpetuated and why it's so difficult to be a discerning like human being when life's already complicated enough and you have no time to actually like, spend on that particular thing. And then it turns into, well, that's how I feel about it. I don't care. So
it's pretty easy for us to sit around as professional media consumers and go, well, obviously that's fake.
And that's why when you don't have time, you turn to X and you scroll through the top X's to see what everyone's talking about that day. You keep it nice.
That's right.
What people are talking about right now is their Kingdom Hearts names. because we're all part of Organization
fuck.
13 now.
Shit, where was that? Yeah. Someone tweet. Excuse me. Someone X'd at me. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Yeah. X is more than just one letter. It's a symbol. The Greek symbol for chi, or X-blade, which will be formed when Ventus, a being of no darkness, fights Vanitas, a being made of darkness, and opens the door to the power of Kingdom Hearts. It just hard cut to the Woody. Let him cook. Hold on. Hold up.
Oh, that's so wonderful. What a great timeline we live in, huh?
Oh
best.
yeah, real great.